Last year, in The Price of Freedom, we spent a lot of time talking about a group of people, mostly veterans, who were sent to the Marshall Islands to clean up radioactive waste. We also told you about all of the illnesses, including cancers, many have been fighting in the years after that mission. A few weeks ago, about 20 of those veterans and some others had a reunion in Dalton. We have told you about two men who live right here in this area, Carlos Vela and Bucky Holmes, who were on a mission in the Enewetak Atoll back in the late 1970s.
What they did to us was so wrong.
Both Bucky and Carlos were tasked with the job of cleaning up islands contaminated after nuclear and atomic weapons testing conducted in the Marshall Islands after World War II.
How many people in this group have some health issue you think is related to your time in Enewetak?
Most of them in this group.
I spent an afternoon listening.
Appreciate you being willing to talk to me today.
To these men's stories.
Some people volunteered to go, but none of us were informed of what the real hazards were.
I was a private. You do as you're told.
I've talked to Bucky and Carlos extensively over the last year and a half. I've talked to several others in phone calls, over email. But a few weeks ago was the first opportunity to talk to, all at one time, more than 20 of the people who were on that mission.
How many people in this group, when you were there, had some type of protection, hazmat suits?
And we could do a whole story just on the suits, or a lack of those suits alone.
They would make you get out there, dress you up, tape up your boots and your wrists and the gloves and put a mask on and make you run around the island for 2 laps. They said it was getting you acclimated for when you were going to wear the suits later. Then they took them off and we never saw them again.
This is a commendation letter Bucky Holmes received that says he was wearing an anti-contamination suit during the mission. He told us last year that that is just not true. All these men confirm Bucky's story, that any protection from that radioactive debris was minimal at best.
I'm driving a 20-ton dump, and whenever you dump and you get dust and everything else, they said, if you worry about the dust, take your T-shirt off, wrap it around your head.
So not only were they exposed to all of this radioactive material and had next to no protection from the harmful effects. Now, more than 40 years later, many of these men are suffering from a wide range of mysterious illnesses, medical conditions, and more problems that are just difficult to understand.
I started having symptoms about 13 years ago, but I never connected them to Enewetak.
I've got like 3 different cancers.
Even though I'm healthy as a horse, all 3 of my kids had birth defects.
Some of the people passed away already, you know, and was it because of that? I can't say. Although I know that the guys that did pass away had multiple cancers at one time, which is not even close to being normal.
If you would like to hear more of these men's stories from that reunion in our latest episode of our podcast, Tomorrowtown, Tennessee, we take a deep dive into the story of the Marshall Islands Atomic Clean-up mission. You can find a link to listen to that podcast episode on my Facebook page right now. And we'll have much more on this story on future podcast episodes and right here on News Channel 9.
And they are good.